Hello, everyone. We are live. Rhode Islanders, you are about to meet one of my absolute favorite colleagues. We're expecting Sydney Kamlager-Dove to be on soon. And we are going to be doing this thing called the WTF Show, which we will explain in just a minute when she joins. I have been looking forward to this all week, and I think you're going to see why, because Sydney is awesome. And we have a lot to talk about this week. A lot of WTF things are going on. So as I said, I've been looking forward to this. When I first got to Congress 2 years ago, you know, it's like your first day of school. Like, you're kind of trying to figure out who do you like, who are you going to work with, who's cool, who do you maybe want to avoid. And I figured out pretty quickly that the person who's about to join me here, hopefully in a minute, is like really good people. Smart, principled, but also just fun. So as soon as she gets here, we'll get started. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the crazy things that are going on in Washington this week. And, I think she's here. Hello? Sydney, you there? Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, my brother from the East Coast?
I have been looking forward to this all week. I was just telling all of my Rhode Islanders over here that they need to know who you are because you are the best. Give this woman a follow on all of her platforms. Follow her, pay attention to her because she is awesome. Where are you? Out in sunny California?
I am out in Southern California. I'm actually in my district office in lovely Los Angeles. And for all of your viewers, Seth is my brother from another mother. We were medicating ourselves on natural resources while having to deal with all of the, not really, that was a joke, but while having to navigate the idiocy that we were hearing in that committee. So even though I'm not on it.
Just so everybody knows, so Sydney and I used to be on the Natural Resources Committee dealing with energy and environment and animal welfare. And then Sydney left me because I'm just going to start the rumor now. I guess you don't care about the animals. And so you left for other pastures.
Dang, dude.
I'm kidding.
Man.
I just fit her because I miss you on Natural Resources. That's why.
I miss you too. But yes, I am on Judiciary now, and it's a whole other ball of wax. More maniacal, although some of the folks that are on Natural Resources are on my committee, so I can't run away from the lunacy.
Escape. You can't escape the crazies.
So I think we're here, right, to do a little WTF, right? Things that have happened Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in Congress. Although I think, based on how I know you operate, there's also a little literal WTF based on all of these things that have taken place.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think whatever that joke is, just went above my head. But, sure, the WTF show, I guess, can mean other things. But I don't know. I don't know about that.
Okay. All right. Well, I know you want to keep it PG. You got little babies that watch you. So, I'm out here in LA where anything goes, right? So, but no.
Right.
We're breaking down the top WTF Wednesday, Thursday, Friday moments of the week. And so kind of like Letterman, right? The top 10.
Yeah. All right. So top 5 WTF moments of this week. Should I start?
Is it okay if I eat my Cheetos? Yeah. I love Flaming Hot.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
Folks in my office are like, this is not for little people. And I'm like, do I look like a little person?
All right. Number 1, I'm going to start with the obvious one. The number 1 WTF moment of the week was obviously the Signal chat group where the top people in the Trump administration were talking about war plans on an unsecured chat. And I know it's supposed to be light, this WTF thing, but we're lucky people didn't get killed. We're lucky that airmen and sailors out in the Red Sea did not get killed because of these morons talking about classified battle plans in a group chat. Oh, and accidentally inviting a journalist along
Right,
for the ride. So,
right.
what was your reaction, Sydney, when you heard about this?
So these curls on my head, all the hair went straight. I sit on Judiciary and Foreign Affairs, and when we have classified briefings, which are not always that classified because I don't think they trust us anyway, we still have to give up our phones, all electronic devices. Even if you have, an Apple Watch or you have your pods, you have to put them away in a safe
Hmm.
space. And you have to listen to the information and then leave. And there's no sharing stuff on Signal. We are not talking about what kind of wigs you want to buy or what kind of movie you're going to watch over the weekend. And they had the nerve to include the special envoy of the Middle East on this Signal chat who was meeting with Putin
Right.
at the time. And
In
also Susie
Russia.
Wiles, correct. And Russia's like, keep talking, yo, because we can just tap right into this phone and read all of
Hmm.
these messages. And of course, you know that Russia is in cahoots with all of these people. I mean, they have
Yeah.
relationships with the Houthis and Iran and China and Syria and Lebanon, and Yemen. So give me a break. I was like, what happened to Donald Trump with The Apprentice? Yo,
Yeah.
firing people. You're fired.
Oh, yeah.
What did they?
Right. Anyone in the rank and file who did this would have been fired, court-martialed, all of that. And like they just can't admit when they make a mistake either, right?
No.
Like they double down and they're like, "Oh, well, it wasn't really classified." Well, it's like, "Yeah, it was.
It
Yeah, it
was.
was."
Right. They said
And
it's not a war plan. I'm sorry. If you're talking about airstrikes,
yeah,
hashtag pound American flag, and telling people what a special ops is, it is a war plan.
yeah. So I mean, this was a near miss, right? Like we're lucky no one got hurt. But I think we also know, and we got to get these people in under oath in front of Congress because Uh, no way that this is the only time that they've done something so careless. And this is what happens when you have a bunch of idiots who are unqualified in major positions. When you have a TV like a TV journalist who's never run anything before running the
Right.
Department of Defense,
Who's
of course
taught? Who
they're going to
cares
do
more
dumb
about?
things.
Who cares more about messaging
Yeah.
than national security? There was an article in the paper today with just what you started on, Seth, about
Yeah.
military saying someone could have gotten killed.
Hmm.
Someone could have gotten killed.
Yeah. No, like the troops actually out there on the ground, on the front line, they know what's up. And
Right.
before I get any angrier about this, let's move on.
Okay, we're gonna
Your
move
turn.
on.
Number two
Number
WTF moment of
two.
the week.
So the second number two WTF moment of the week for me was Republicans in Oversight going hard in the paint against Cookie Monster, Elmo, Clifford the Red Dog, Big Bird, Bert, and Ernie. So they want to call in the folks from Sesame Street and PBS because somehow that is railing against them, and the notion that Bert and Ernie talking about sharing is caring is far more dangerous to our young people than shutting down the Department of Education, firing hundreds of thousands of teachers, getting rid of our public school system. None of that is important. But dodgy Doge going in and decimating all of our agencies. Oh, let's not do hearings on that.
Right.
Let's not do hearings on Signalgate. Let's bring in Bert and Ernie. I mean,
Yeah.
give me a break.
Yeah. So just so people at home know, and first of all, this was obviously the number one issue that was on voters' minds in November when they went to the polls, right? It wasn't the cost
Right.
of living or safe streets or anything. It was we've got to do something about Bert and Ernie, right?
Ernie. Right.
But our least favorite colleague, Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? She decided to have a hearing about the evil plot behind Sesame Street and PBS, because this is what House Republicans are spending their time on. Not on how to make anybody's lives better, but on attacking Sesame Street. By the way, like people ask me, I'm sure they ask you too, like, oh, what's Marjorie like in real life? And like the answer is exactly the same, right?
Batshit crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just mean for no reason. Like like it's not just in front of the cameras. Like she'll yell at people when there's like no one else around and you're just in the hall and you're like, why are you like this? But so
Has she yelled
anyway,
at you?
uh, a little bit, not directly. I'm on Homeland with her. I'm on
Oh,
Homeland with
she
her, and
probably
so
knows better.
we've
She's
mixed
like,
it. I
I
don't
know the
know.
kind of people who come out of Rhode Island. She's like, I'm not gonna mess with Seth.
Yeah, we mixed it up a few times on Homeland. She tried to be like, oh, Democrats don't support law enforcement. And I'm like, you're literally selling
Yeah.
defund the FBI T-shirts on
Right.
your website, you
Right.
psycho. Yeah.
I mean, oh God, they're trying to do national open carry and judiciary, but yet they care about law enforcement.
Yeah.
So I do think this is all part of a deflection game, because with all of these shenanigans, unconstitutional, illegal, unethical, unsafe shenanigans that are coming out of the administration that Republicans have to co-sign, and they know people are up in arms about $12 eggs and cars that are going to be unaffordable because of all of these tariffs, and constituents who are going to be complaining because their Social Security checks and payments get cut. Instead, let's rail on Big Bird, who's only talked about loving your neighbor and being kind. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's nuts. All right, number 3. Sydney, guess where, as we film this right now, guess where our vice president is?
I think our vice president is in Greenland searching for a couch to sit on.
Yeah, that's right, because nobody invited him and nobody wants him there. And not only nobody in Greenland wants him there, nobody in the United States wants him there either, except for Donald Trump, who is like obsessed with taking over Greenland and can't, like, why? Again, nobody voted for this. Nobody campaigned on this. No one was like,
Top of my list.
taking over Greenland isn't going to lower the cost of eggs. Like but these people are nuts, and
these people are nuts.
But you know what? Actually, real talk. Like the warning light for me. So, did you go to the inauguration? Were you there in the rotunda when Trump was giving his inaugural speech?
I did. I went. I had to see for my own eyes.
Yeah. So there was like a little line right at the end where he said, "We're going to expand our territory," and like no one talked about it at the time. But I remember hearing that and being like, "Huh." Like, when's the last time a president was like expanding our territory is like our goal? And then he comes out and he's obsessed with Greenland. He's obsessed with Canada. So there's like, this is not just a joke. He's serious about this. And, like, what's he going to do? Right. Like, if they don't want to be part of the United States, is he going to send troops over? Like, are we about to get into an unnecessary war? Like, what's this all about? And it's a huge waste of time. Yeah.
It is a huge waste of time. He's taking his cues from history and from the present, from imperialist dictators.
Yeah.
And he's really hell-bent on trying to intimidate and punk allies. And I think he is underestimating the ability for Western countries, and regional countries across the globe to come together and work against us. I think the signal gate shows when they said that Europe was pathetic. European countries are saying, okay, we can't trust the United States. So that means the people that we have that are abroad, the military that we have that are abroad, will no longer be safe. And Canada and Greenland are going to be gunning for us. They already punked us, called his bluff with regards to the tariffs, which I still believe is his attempt to do market manipulation.
Yeah.
But I will say about this Greenland trip, I think it is so interesting that, with the signal gate, JD Vance, rented a couple of balls, I guess, and stuck them on him. And he said, I have some concerns about the tactic that Donald Trump is taking. And then this thing gets exposed. And then what happens? He is called into the president's office, and then he is reprimanded. And then the Usha Vance is supposed to be going to Greenland. And then lo and behold, the president's number 2 lapdog, JD Vance, with all of his eyeliner, he gets banished to Greenland because Donald Trump was like, oh, on the signal gate, you was trying to say I wasn't, number 1 with all the right answers. So you too go to Greenland. And here they are knocking on doors, asking if people want to meet with them. And Greenlanders are saying, no, no, boo. You can get yourself right back on that plane and go on back to the
Hey,
United States.
well, maybe he'll stay there.
They don't want
One
him.
can
They're going to
hope.
deport him.
Yeah,
What they can
fair enough. Fair
send him
enough.
to Guantanamo.
Uh,
Okay,
all right.
so
Number 4.
my number 4, we have got Ricky Bobby in the house.
This
So
is a
if
good one.
you,
Just sorry to interrupt. This is like a sleeper one. I feel like a lot of people miss this one, but this is a good one.
that's
So
right.
go ahead.
So Talladega Nights. Well, actually, Donald Trump has created this White House Faith Office, and they have a new Tammy Faye selling miracles to you for a low, low, low price of $1,000. And there was even a little commercial. Somebody was playing the keystrokes on the piano. This lady was looking, and they had the little lights, shining behind her head. And she's like, I believe in miracles. And for $1,000, you can too. It will come true. So, Jesus, how many rules is this man breaking? This is what you would really be seeing if you were having insomnia at 2:00 in the morning, and like after QVC goes off, the White House comes on, and you can buy a miracle for $1,000. So WTF is going on with that, Seth?
WTF. This is a real thing, just so everybody knows. She's an official White House, faith ambassador or something like that. They created a White House role, and she is now using that platform to sell prayers for $1,000 each.
Well, I'm gonna put my pennies together and call her and say, hey, I've got some miracles I want you to make happen. Get rid of Elon Musk, send him someplace else.
Yeah, there you go. There you
Send
go.
Marjorie
Right.
Taylor Greene someplace else.
Right. Pray for Medicaid, pray for Social Security, pray
that the Supreme Court doesn't buckle. Yeah.
That's
pray
right.
that we can find 3 Republicans to find a spine and join with us to save Medicaid and Medicare.
Right. How much do you think it would cost? How much do you think it would cost to get a prayer to save Medicaid?
Well, you only need $1,000.
All right.
We should give us some Dogecoin. We should pay in Dogecoin.
Is there's a toll-free number, right?
There is a toll-free number. 1-800 you're a sucker. But
all right. So just to sum up, we were doing our top 5 WTF moments of the week, and we could have kept going. There were a lot that made it on the cutting room floor because it's crazy every week, but this week was just a whole like we're not even getting into like RFK hiring the top vaccine skeptic to oversee vaccine research. We're not even getting into like saying that federal employees can't have unions anymore. Like we could keep going and going, but
cutting all the workers from HHS. I heard RFK Jr. on the phone, and he was doing an interview, and I was like, I would never take health advice from this guy. He sounds like he's gonna fall over and die any minute.
He doesn't look healthy either. We're not supposed to talk about people's appearance, and that's not. But
he doesn't look well.
But look at the guy. Like the brainworm, did a lot of work before they found it.
They sure did, and I will never forgive him for Beargate, Cubbygate. Bring him in for natural resources.
Right. Right. Actually, maybe we need to do a natural resources bill, the Animals Endangered by RFK Act or something. We'll work on that. All right.
Sign me up as co-sponsor.
So number 5 and last for now, WTF moment. All right. This again, sorry to be Debbie Downer, but like Social Security, so Elon and his army of misfit children, they're going agency to agency and just tearing things apart for no good reason. And their latest is the Social Security Administration. They're fired a whole bunch of people, so now you can't get anyone on the phone at Social Security. They're saying that they're going to shut down the phone lines, and so you have to go into an office in person to get your Social Security benefits. But oh, wait a minute, they're closing a bunch of the offices too. So they're not going to say, oh, we're cutting your Social Security benefits. They're just going to make it as hard as possible for elderly and disabled people to go in and get those benefits that they have earned, that they have paid into. But like, what does Elon know about Social Security? Nothing. What is this? What are these 19-year-old big balls? The 19-year-olds
Big
who,
balls.
Elon has set loose in the government. What does he know about Social Security? Nothing. So like, this is
Big
my
balls.
my my final WTF is like, Elon, just get out of Social Security. Just find a hobby, find some other way to fill that hole inside of you without going after people's Social Security. What do you think, Sydney?
I think you're absolutely right. He's got real daddy issues, and when I meet him, I'm going to ask him, "Who hurt you, Elon? Who hurt you?" We have
Yeah.
so many seniors who have worked really hard and have paid into Social Security and deserve to get it. It is rightfully theirs. You are
Mhm.
absolutely right. They are targeting Social Security centers in urban districts because they're also saying we're going to cut offices that have high rent. So
Mhm.
places like New York, Los Angeles, Portland, Dallas, where the rent is high, they're going to lose their Social Security offices. Most seniors I know love their cell phones. They're talking to all their booze on these cell phones. So now you're
Yeah.
going to say no longer be able to use that, only a landline, but then we've cut the number of people who can answer the phone. So essentially you're screwed because they know that one way to cut is by shrinking access to the services.
Right.
And then through attrition, you're able to make your numbers. And we know that they passed a $4.5 trillion tax cut and they have to figure out a way to pay for it. We sent a letter to the acting commissioner of the Social Security Administration about these cuts. And his response was stone cold ridiculous. He said, just call this 1-800 number if the lines are too long and basically, beat it.
Yeah.
So instead of expanding services, they want to cut services. Everything is duplicitous with them.
It's
And
true.
everything is code for hurting the American people.
Yeah, to pay for tax cuts for billionaires for people who don't need them. So I am grateful, however, that we have got some champions, some warriors like you in the Congress who are fighting back. I am proud to be in the bunker with you and go to work every day fighting for working people. So thank you for everything you do. Um, I don't know what else. What should we end on here? Oh, I've got something. So you're out there in LA and I'm here in New England. Are we going to get another Celtics Lakers championship? What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
And the Lakers are
Yeah.
going to win.
I mean, I don't know. LeBron's not getting any younger.
Ooh, ooh,
Luca,
ages.
Luca's like, showing up to practice like with his cigarette and his Twinkies. I don't know. We're gonna see.
Okay, I don't know why you're trying to shade me. I thought we had a love affair going on, and now
Uh,
you're going to turn the tables. What I will say is this: we're not even at the playoffs yet, boo boo. So once we get to the
all right.
playoffs, everybody turns on. It's going to fast forward. Look, Dodgers already just won, and then are going to kill it. Lakers are jealous because this is a very competitive city. So they're like, okay, we
True.
got Luca. We're ready
Now,
to rock and roll.
LA's been having a moment the last few years. I'll admit too.
Yeah,
Super
don't hate,
Bowl a couple years
celebrate.
ago was dope. Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah, we got
I'm in.
this, and we got All-Star Game and Super Bowl coming up in the next 2
All
years.
right.
So.
Well, you all can see why I am such a huge, huge fan of this woman, this leader, my friend Sydney Canlager Dove. Thank you for doing the WTF show with me.
Love it. Thank you so much for inviting me. Seth is the coolest member in Congress. We came in together, and Rhode Island should be incredibly proud to have you fighting for them each
You're
and
the
every day.
best. All right, I'll see you back in the crazy on
Yes, you
Monday.
will.
All right.
Bye.